Hello and welcome to Tainted Grail Conquest. Conquest is the new mode for Tainted Grail. It is a hardcore roguelike experience. The main mode for Tainted Grail is a narrative-driven open-world RPG. I'm very excited to get going on this. This video is kindly sponsored by the developers, and if you'd like to check out the game, there is a link in the description. Maybe add it to your Steam wishlist if you like what you see here. Anyway, we're going to be starting a new game. There are 3 classes to choose from. I have my clear favorites. Well, actually, maybe I've changed my mind a little bit about those, because initially I really liked the Brawler. I did not like the Guardian one bit. I was pretty awful at the Guardian. That's pretty much why I didn't really like it. But the point is that I'm going to be showing you the Guardian first. We're hopefully going to be able to go through every single one of these classes. Technically, they're known as runes in this game, and they all give you different benefits, different playstyles, and different disadvantages as well. So anyway, we're going to be going as the Guardian for the first little bit here. Now, if you don't know anything about Tainted Grail, well, basically, it is a reimagining of Arthurian legends, and we are going to be wandering around this map, and bear in mind that this green bluish mist is dangerous. You don't really want to go in there without a weirdness candle, or a weird candle, as you can see right here. And basically what that does is that pushes back all of the bluish mist, and you can pretty much walk wherever you want to walk. Now, do bear in mind that if you do go into the weirdness without the candle, then battles are going to reward you much more, but they are going to be much harder as a result of that. So I'm just going to use this. There's also an item system, item shop, that you will be able to go to when you get some wealth from the various places on the map here. You can see on the minimap these gold icons, those gold little dots. That basically indicates where some wealth is. I have 100 wealth at the moment, and I will be able to go and, see what I can do about that. You can also light a weird candle to boost the milestone's range, because every single time you come up to a milestone, this is also a quick travel point. You can light a candle to increase the range at which it spreads out the weirdness, as you can see right there. So it will give you a bit of respite. So if you want to just fight in this area and you don't want to continue onward any further, then you can pretty much do that. We also have an inventory here. Bear in mind that when you do battles, your character will level up. So now that I have a healing mixture, which restores 30 HP on use, I have 100 HP to start with, I can use that in combat. There's also gear and stuff like that as well. So you have a sword, and you have armor, and all that wonderful stuff. So this is a trivial fight. It's a random tier 1 group fight, and that is also a trivial fight. I think I'll just fight these guys. Bear in mind that every single time you move, your weird candle charges are going to reduce over time. So you do have to be a bit careful about where you move and what you do. It's all very strategic in deciding which way you want to go. Anyway, these guys right here, these abominations, every single thing on the screen is useful. So the developers have done a very good job of providing conveyance, basically giving you good amounts of information about every single one of your opponents that you're going to be fighting. So for example, you can see the intent of the opponent. So you can see that this guy is going to be dealing 25 damage. Now, bear in mind that you may be asking, doing 25 damage to who? Well, then you just mouse over here. It deals damage to everyone on the battlefield, excluding itself. So let's say that every single one of these abominations attacks, they're pretty much going to kill each other, and I don't really need to worry about them one bit. But what I am going to do is I'm going to use block. Now, bear in mind that because we're playing as the Guardian, using stance cards has a great effect. So let me just read this for you here. So basically, when you use this rune, for every 3 charges consumed, you draw 1 card and you gain 1 energy. You start with 3 energy, as you can see down in the bottom right of the screen. And if you use it on at least 9 charges, you gain 1 additional energy as well, which is really quite fantastic, because that means that you can go way up above your maximum capacity. So if you had 3 energy and you used this at, 12 charges or something, you'd have, 7, 8 energy at that point. And we have passive skills here as well. So the passive skill is you can keep one of your cards from your hand at the end of the turn, and you can select what that is. And every single time you use a stance card, so for example one of these blocking cards, you will gain 1 charge of the Guardian rune. And as I've said before, the other classes and the other runes, they all have different prerequisites for charging them up. And we will hopefully be able to see those. So I'm just going to use blocks here to try and make things easier for us. Going to do a little bit of damage to this crazed witch here. And then I will end the turn, and we'll keep small strikes. And there we go, block, block, and there we go. Nice, massive amount of damage done to everyone because these abominations are killing themselves. Bear in mind that once they kill themselves, as far as I'm aware, there is something they can do. But there is a lot of damage being done here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do small strikes, try and eliminate the enemy as much as I possibly can. There we go, we actually leveled up as well, which is really nice. And let's do some more damage. There we go. There's another one dead. There's another one dead. There we are. And I think I should, I'm hopeful, be able to... there we go. Whew. I was a bit worried there for a second because obviously sometimes because of the RNG, because every single card does not give you a guaranteed amount of damage. It is a variable amount. So it could be, 14 to 24 or something along those lines. And you might get the lower value dependent on, random chance. And yeah, so now every single time you level up, you're going to be getting the ability to pick a new card. Now, technically, you don't have to pick a new card if you don't want to. You can skip it and gain some wealth in return, which is actually very good to do if you don't really want to bloat your deck with cards that you think are kind of useless or something that you're not really going for in terms of your play style with that certain class. So you can see here that we have a stunning blow right here, deals 5 to 7 damage, 50% chance to stun. Not a big fan of that. I would like some stance cards actually, but I'm not seeing any stance cards. If your armor is above 40, stun the target. No, you know what? I'm actually just going to skip this one, and we're going to have a look and see if we can get something else here. So there's the power of weird. Sacrifice 10% of your maximum HP. You gain +2 energy, and you draw 1 card. That could be very powerful if you want to sacrifice your HP. Personally, I don't want to sacrifice my HP, so what I'm going to do is I might go for energy refresh. Let's go for that and see if we can make it work. Now, you also have passive skills that you gain when you level up too. So as you see here, we have on every 12th card played, draw 2 cards. You can do that, or you can go and start combat with 3 additional cards, or if you finish your turn with at least 3 cards in the hand, gain 1 block. Personally, I feel like I would like to come in prepared because you start combat with 3 additional cards. I think that could be very advantageous, but I'm also thinking about natural block. Gonna take natural block, I think, because having the ability to have block for free at the end of your turn is really, really good if you have enough cards to be able to make it work, of course. So that might very well be a bit of an issue. Okay, so now that my weird candle has expired, I no longer have to use it, as you can see, because this milestone over here has been expanded. Its radius has been expanded by me using a weird candle on it. So basically gives it a little bit of extra oomph to its radius, which is really nice. We're going to do the same thing with this one as well, so we have even more space to run around and pick up wealth. Ooh. Then the Maiden of the Sea reached out, touching Percival's slender fingers. The knight sighed in rapture, but soon recoiled. We can't be together, my love. I have to follow Arthur's orders, and in a day I'm storming the walls of Tuathan. 2 thick tears formed in the maiden's eyes. Ooh, yeah, so we also have, of course, a little bit of backstory, a little bit of lore going on here as well. Okay, we're not going to be fighting those guys, thank you very much. That is a little bit too difficult for my liking. That might be a bit too difficult for us as well. So I'm going to walk back here, see if I can maybe find some other characters to fight that might be a little bit easier. Okay, so these guys I think will probably do quite nicely, and that's the point. If I had not increased the radius of these milestones, then I'd have to be consuming my weird candle. And yeah, I can go back to the merchant. I can spend a little bit of my wealth to buy another weird candle, and I can buy healing potions, and I can buy new gear and all kinds of stuff. but I don't really want to do that. You know what I mean? I kind of would like to prevent ourselves from having any issues in that regard. So we're just going to do this, and I'm actually going to stay with 3 cards. I'm going to keep the blocking card, just so that we get natural block. And, I see. Okay, I understand how natural block works now. Okay, I've never had that particular passive before, so we're going to see how it goes now. Alright, so I'm going to... So natural block will give me block when I end my turn. So technically, me using block during the turn is not even necessary. So I'm literally just going to do as much damage as I possibly can here. That's some good damage, and we'll do damage here and then debuff. Now, if you don't know, the Crazed Witch has a magical barrier. As you could see there was a magical barrier that was basically blocking all of our damage. But if you're able to destroy the barrier, what it does is it applies a debuff to all of the enemies in your current battle, and it basically gives you 25% additional damage, because now they have minus 25% armor. It is providing us with that extra damage. So we're just going to end the turn here. I will select a card to keep, and we'll gain natural block as a result. And as you can see, the natural block actually did give us a nice little benefit there. Alright, so now I'm going to be using some block cards because they're both going to be attacking me, and I'm going to try and kill the Crazed Witch as fast as I possibly can, because she's probably going to be able to heal. And yeah, look, as you can see, she's actually healing right now, so we should be a bit careful about that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue playing with natural block in mind, because as you can see, the peasant over here is going to continue attacking, but the Crazed Witch, I think, has kind of like a attack, heal cycle. So we should be a bit careful of that to make sure that we take advantage of it as much as we possibly can. Going to continue to keep energy refresh. There we go. Yeah, it's working very, very nicely. Now she's going to apply a buff to herself. So we probably want to do something about that. So what can we do about it? Well, I'm actually going to show you the first rune activation that we can get here. So I'm actually just going to use 3 stance cards just so that I can get 6 charges. And as you can see, if I use this, boom. Now we have 2 additional energy, and I did gain a couple of extra cards. So I'm very much hoping that what we'll be able to do is hopefully kill her. Boom, there we go. So she's done. And now, look, I mean, I've got so much block. I leveled up as well, which is very nice. I have so much block that I should be perfectly fine to end the turn, even with a double hit attack, because some enemies have double hit attacks, and some of them can actually attack you 5, 6, maybe even 7 times, dependent on what kind of enemy you're fighting, so you have to be a bit careful of that. There are also legendary enemies on the map that you can potentially fight once your character becomes strong enough. And, well, maybe we'll do a little bit of a battle against those just to show you exactly what's going on. Alright, so let's just do some more damage here. We've got, thankfully we have a multi-hit attack that is doing some pretty nice work for us right here. And I'm just going to do another attack there, and then we'll just end the turn. Gain natural block as well. Very nice. And I believe that is indeed it. Yeah, nice. Okay. Now, bear in mind that that was just a trivial fight, you know. That's pretty, I gotta say, if you don't have the right strategy, you can very easily get overwhelmed. It has happened to me in my previous runs as well. So anyway, we have hard hit here. This is a cleave attack, does 20% of the damage to all other opponents, and as you can see, it's actually pretty massive damage. But personally, for the Guardian, I much prefer going for some cards that are much lower cost. So I'm gonna skip this. And, your items repelling weirdness are lasting twice as long. That's very nice. On every 15th card played, draw 1 card. Its cost is 0. And you can also start combat with 3 additional cards. I'm thinking we'll probably do... That was a warm-up. That seems like a good idea to me. 15... I mean, playing 15 cards is pretty extensive, so it might not really work out too well for us. But you know what? I'm actually going to show you the fast travel mechanic. So here we go. This is the activated milestone, and we can go back to the other area. Alright, so we're now back in our home base here, and as you can see, where your hometown once was, a lone man sits among the remains. He doesn't notice you. Only when you walk right up to him, he turns his blank stare toward you. Who are you? His thick, unfamiliar accent makes him hard to understand. It's not my farm, old, is it? I'm from up north, the land of fog. But this mist, it was all wrong. Have you seen the others? They were right next to me. I don't know what happened. Alright, so basically what you can do here is you can meditate and forget skills. Skills, for example, cards, can be kind of bloating your deck up a little bit, and maybe you don't want something in particular to be there. So what you can do is you can pay a little bit of wealth, and you can meditate and then forget them. You can also buy supplies, as you can see right here. So I can buy this clunky chess piece. I can get the chainmail. I can get some axes, and a variety of other stuff. You also have the travel map, which instantly teleports you back to your base, which is actually very cool. Tales for Lonely Ones we just picked up. Show this to a competent blacksmith. Bear in mind that you can also rescue followers on the map as well, and they can provide you with a variety of different benefits too. So anyway, I'm thinking we're probably going to buy this chess piece because it is, well, I think it's pretty good. I'm going to actually buy this as well. Do I have enough? Yes, I do have enough to be able to do that. So I'm going to buy an upgrade for both my armor and my weapon. And we're going to be using that because personally I feel like this, Breath of the Dying, if every enemy in combat is below 25% max HP, gain 50% extra damage, that's really, really good because that also kind of offsets the amount of damage reduction that we gain from wearing the chest piece. So I'm pretty happy about that. Ooh, and look at this. We change our lookup quite nicely as well. Very nice to see that. Okay, so now we can go back to the milestone, and we can travel between them, as you can see. So we're just going to go back to this one, and then we are right there. So we don't need to walk through the weirdness or anything like that, and we can actually walk over to one of these guys. This is going to be kind of tricky. Well, that's the thing. Even the weak fights, quote-unquote weak fights, can actually be very difficult indeed. As you can see, this bounty hunter is apparently a weak enemy, if you can believe it. So yeah, anyway, 3 times 6 to 8 damage. So he's going to do quite some bad stuff to me. And as you can see, his special ability is to infect our deck with obsolete cards. Yeah, not exactly great, right? Okay, so I'm going to actually stun this guy so that he can't attack me so many times. And we will then probably just do some small strikes. Yeah, we're doing no damage whatsoever. Maybe it's a mistake for me to wear this armor. It might very well be a mistake. But we'll see what happens. Okay, so yeah, might very well be a mistake. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Okay, so I'm gonna use a block, and then I could use another block. And I'm trying to take 0 damage here, basically. That's what I'm hoping that I will be able to do. So there we go, yeah. So he's doing damage to us, but obviously not anything because we're blocking it. But yeah, okay, so now he's going to apply a debuff to us, and this one is going to attack us. Okay, so now we can go full out on offense because I have natural block, and that is going to enable me to basically block whatever I like from a single hit. So that's pretty nice. And boom, now they're debuffed as well. I'm going to focus the Crazed Witch down as I did before because I personally feel like that is going to be more advantageous than trying to burn through 228 of this guy's attacks. And bear in mind that he has now infected our deck with Disturbance, which is a bunch of obsolete cards, which is to be expected. Oh, this guy also can heal. Oh, that's interesting. Did not realize that he could do that. But we're going to continue attacking here, and we'll just use one of these, and that's absolutely fine. Alright, so he has buffed himself with some armor. Still not going to do anything, because he's still minus 20% in terms of his armor, which is perfectly fine with me. So I'm just going to continue doing some damage here. And we'll get natural block nevertheless. There we go. So we're not taking any damage whatsoever right here. Okay, so now this is when the pain is going to come. Yeah, this is when the pain is going to come, but I'm actually going to be stunning this guy. Thankfully, we drew a stun right at that moment. And look at energy refresh coming up when we well, actually don't even want it. We don't even want it right now, unfortunately. I mean, I could use it and then use small strikes and something like that, but I don't see the real need for that when I have natural block to come in and help us. Okay, look at that. I can actually use Shield Bash again, which I will do. And then we'll try and eliminate this. I'm going to use Energy Refresh now. And then just use another one. Boom. Attack the Crazed Witch. And now we should be able to deal with the last guy. Hopefully, pretty easily. Alright, so he is once again going to attack us. So let's just do stance, and then we'll do small strikes. It's going to take a while to burn him down, that's for sure. But, yeah, you know, we're playing strategically. We're playing very defensively. That's exactly what the Guardian is all about. The Guardian is about playing very strategic. And as I say, they all have very, very different styles of play. Okay, yeah, this is going to be a bit problematic for me. So I'm going to do a little bit of a block here. Natural block's going to come in, as well as my used block. And we're going to do quite nicely. Okay, I'm going to take some damage here from this next attack that he has, but it's not going to be that much. Actually, you know what? I'm going to use my Guardian ability right here, and I can gain some more energy, so I can maybe burn through him a little bit more. And as you can see, look at this. I just gained energy refresh too, which is pretty fantastic, because that means I will be able to gain an additional energy. So I can even use another one of these, and I can use this too. But I don't gain natural block now, which is a bit of a mistake. That is a bit of a mistake on my part. Yeah, that was a bit of a mistake on my part, but we did do a little bit of extra damage as a result, I guess, so I suppose it's not too bad. Okay, he's going to do a debuff. Yeah, he's going to just give me more disturbance cards, isn't he? Oh, no, he's actually doing something else. No, okay, so he applied limitation. Basically what that does is just reduce the amount of energy that you have on the next turn, which is not exactly nice of him, is it? But, you know. We're getting him down. We're getting him down, and he's only going to attack me twice next turn, and I have natural blocks, so it's all good. Okay, he's going to attack me 3 times. Let's just do this. And I think what I'm going to do after this is I will attempt to show you a very large, powerful enemy, because I'd like to show you some of the other runes, some of the other classes, and playstyles. And if I end up dying as a result of, you know, me going up against one of these guys, then, well, so be it. You know, then at least I can show you the next rune. I was not expecting to stay alive this long, actually. I thought to myself, oh, I'm going to die very quickly indeed, because that's what happened the last time I actually played as a Guardian. It did not go well. That's all I can say. It did not go well. I did quite well on the Brawler, and the Berserk rune was also working quite nicely for me, but yeah, this not so much. Alright, so let's have a look. I'm going to go for Shield Bearer, I think. This seems like a pretty good card. There we go. And now, so there is some wealth over here. I'm going to just light my weird candle right there, and we have another trivial fight right there as well. So if you want to, you can literally just attack every single party that you come up against. But of course, I'm not actually wanting to do that at the moment, because I do want to show you the legendary enemy, which we have just seen there on the right side of the screen. Not sure if you spotted it before we headed into this fight. And it seems like we're going to be, yes, okay, we're fighting the Mindbender. Basically what the Mindbender does is it summons extremely powerful enemy illusions. Now bear in mind that these illusions can be killed in one hit, so it's actually not that bad. But if you allow the illusions to stay alive, they can attack you, and that's going to be pretty bad. So I'm going to just try and do as much damage as I possibly can here. I don't really mind about having a natural block at this point, because we're not being attacked. But there you go, as you can see, and this guy is going to be healing, so we don't want that one bit. So let's try and do some damage there. Let's use our stance card, and let's attack one more time, and there we go. Yeah, very strategic, as I've said. The Brawler is much more about doing massive damage, and to single enemies more like, and it just has more of a straight up offensive way of doing things, which in my opinion is pretty fun. But obviously if you're more of a strategic mind, then this is definitely something for you, in my opinion. Okay, there we go. We'll just use this just in case, I guess. I mean, it doesn't really matter at this point. Okay, so yeah, now we're just going to use Small Strike, hopefully kill that one illusion there. As you can see, look at it. It was going to do 65 to 75 damage to me. So if you left it alone, it was going to do so much damage. All right, so we'll just do this, and then we will end our turn. You see how much damage? Look at this. You see how much damage this thing can do. Thankfully, I have a 20% armor increase thanks to my armor, because otherwise we would have taken so much damage from that attack that it would have been very, very bad indeed. Okay, so let's just continue attacking here. Oh, there we go. We actually have another attack card as well, which I can use. Nice. That was some good damage. I'll keep Shield Bash just in case. Yeah, there's a rat that's going to attack me for a pretty significant amount, so we're going to have to waste an attack card on it, unfortunately. Didn't get the Small Strikes attack, which would have been nice. And we'll continue attacking. Gonna just take a stance card now. And as you can see, we're building up our charge. If I were to use more stance cards, then I'd be able to build up even more charge. Let's try and kill the illusion with our Small Strikes there. Seems to work quite nicely. Let's stand our ground. There we go. We'll take a little bit of damage. It attacks 7 times for 4 to 5 damage right there. So you can imagine, without the 20% additional armor, she's going to do so much damage. She's going to be attacking me again now. Okay, this might be bad. This might be very, very bad. Yeah, I guess I'll try and get some defense up, I guess. I mean, actually, you know what? Let me, yeah, Can I not cancel? Oh, I can't cancel it. Okay, fine. I'll just take the damage then. I was actually wanting to use my rune there. We might have been able to achieve something, but at this point, maybe not. Okay, let's attack one more time. Okay, so yeah, now I have the ability to use this if I want to, but I'm just gonna get some additional cards here and just finish her off. There we go. Okay, yeah, but as you can see, that was as far as I'm aware, a weak fight. I don't think it was a challenging fight. So yeah, it is very, very tricky if you go into something, go into a fight that is too difficult for you at the time, then it's probably going to be quite punishing. And I'm going to go into the golem just so that I can show you the enemy in question, pretty much, and the mechanics surrounding it as well, because normally I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't do this, in my own playthrough. I just want to show you exactly what's going on with it, so hopefully you can understand that. And otherwise, as you can see, he has this. He gains plus 100% incoming damage per turn up to 4 times, then resets the ability. In other words, you can do more damage to him every single turn that you stay in combat with him. So we're going to have to be a bit careful about the damage he's doing, but thankfully, because I have natural block, I should be okay. I should have used Shield Breaker first, actually. That would have made more sense. My bad. I mean, I have to burn through 6,600 HP, which is extremely difficult anyway. Oh, and I'm not even going to have natural block because I made a huge error. Of course I did, of course. Okay, yeah, so I guess I'll just keep the attack there then. Alright, so he's going to attack twice now, so I should really make sure that I have 3 cards in my hand here. I'm going to use a bit of a healing potion as well, just in case. And we can't stun this guy either, by the way. As far as I'm aware, he is immune to stun. Is he? Oh, it seems like he's not immune to stun anymore, because in a previous version of the game that I played, he was immune to stun. So that's actually kind of interesting. Okay, so I guess I will just attack again. And we'll keep the block. There we go. Nice. Okay, so he's taking even more damage now, but bear in mind that every single turn, he's actually going to be attacking you more. So as you can see, he's now going to be attacking me 3 times instead of 2. So this is going to be interesting. Okay, now I'm worried. Now I am super worried. Okay, I guess I will just do this. Thankfully, we can block all of these attacks. So that's not too bad, but now he's going to be attacking us 4 times. So let's just use all of these, and I could... No, I'm going to wait. Okay, so yeah, I'm just going to get all of those off. We're going to take some damage here, but hopefully not too much. Okay, there we go. Oh, now this is perfect. This is actually really, really nice. So he, I think, is... Okay, so he has reset his ability now. So he will now be doing, well, something unknown. We don't know. We don't know what he'll be doing, so we'll see. Okay, I can actually attack for free right there. That's my 15th card that I've played, which is very nice. And now that we're... Because I don't think he's going to be attacking, I'm just not going to go for natural block. Now he's going to be attacking. So in between his various phases, he will not attack once. So you do have a bit of a respite about that, which is actually very nice. I'm going to try and stun him. Yeah, stun actually does work now. Okay, that's very, very cool, because that means that stun-based character builds, because, for example, the Brawler is a very stun-heavy character, so generally being able to stun is very, very cool for him. So let's just do this, and we're going to do a little bit of this as well, and let's do some damage. Why not? And then we'll just keep one of these. But generally, I think that I would probably be able to achieve some kind of victory here. I should have reduced the armor again, shouldn't I? Yeah, that would have made more sense. Okay, so now he has 200% increased damage. Gonna keep the stun, because here's the thing. What we can do is I can actually stun him on his 4th turn, and that basically means that he won't be able to attack us for 4 times the amount of damage, which is actually kind of fantastic. So if I can just survive this time, which I think I will be able to do quite easily, actually. So I'm gonna use another one of these. Oh, and then I can actually attack again. Very nice. I mean, it's taking us a while, of course, but this is a legendary enemy. This is one of the big bosses on the level, so we're going to keep the stun once again. I actually can't believe I've survived this long, to be honest. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so yeah, we'll just stun him. We'll just stun him right here, and we'll do some small strikes damage. And I'm going to use my Guardian Rune. I was hopeful for something a little bit more than that, but we did gain 1 energy, so that does allow me to do 57 to 67 damage, which I suppose is okay, but he's stunned, so he wouldn't be able to attack us anyway, which is the main reason why I did that. Alright, is he actually going to attack? Oh, he's actually going to attack me again. Oh, okay. So we do not skip that particular round. Aha, so even if we stun him, we don't skip it. Okay, that's good to know. So I guess what I'll do is I'll just use a couple of stance cards here and then just hope that I can absorb as much damage as possible. And bear in mind that at this point, you'd probably have a lot of potions because you will have explored most of the area and you'd have a lot of wealth to be able to spend on healing potions and things like that. So generally, I'd probably be able to heal myself a couple more times here, and I might very well have a very good chance of achieving something. So that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of let myself die here, and then we will go on to the next class. Alright, so when we die, this is what happens. You died and it's time to start over or give up. Okay, so we're going to start over, and as you can see, you can now pick a blessing. And these blessings include having more weird candles, having more gold, or having more healing potions. Personally, I think starting with 4 more healing potions is probably the best, unless you want to go super heavy on your exploration, in which case then weird candles are obviously the way to go instead. But otherwise, I'm very excited to show you the next rune, and that will be the Brawler, because the Brawler is probably... I'm not entirely sure. Now that we did so well on the Guardian, I feel like maybe the Guardian's my favorite. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure at the moment. Okay, so we're going to just go in here, and we can actually, select where we want to go, but obviously we don't have any other milestones, so I won't be able to do anything about that. So let's move on through here. Let's get our weird candle lit up. And this guy is going to be very, very different in its playstyle. And that's exactly the reason why I think the roguelike mode in this game works really, really well. Okay, so this is trivial, some hidden wealth here, that's weak. And there's a confident priestess. Aha, there's one of our followers potentially that we might be able to persuade to join us. And once you do that, you're going to be able to bring them back to your camp, and they might very well help you in some way. So I'm very, very interested to see what we can do about that. So this is the Brawler's Rune. Deal damage based on your charges to one enemy. So basically what you can do is you place one combo mark on an enemy per each hit. So in other words, things like multi-hit attacks, like small strikes, is extremely, extremely useful. So I'm just going to use this. As you can see, look at this, we're marking them. And you can see there that if we reach 6, then we can make the enemy vulnerable as well, which is actually very nice. So I'm just going to continue attacking the Crazed Witch. And we will continue doing that if we can. There we go. Now they're debuffed. I'll just use a little bit of a block there as well. Now bear in mind that after you start a new run, you are given this trait, which is a Soul Reborn. For the first 10 turns of your first combat encounter, new life fills your numb body. In other words, you take much less damage and you do much more damage, which is just a way for you to kind of get a bit of a head start. So technically what I could have done was I could have entered a battle against harder enemies, and as a result I probably would have been able to get a much more advantageous start. So there's a lot of different strategies that you can utilize to make the most of your buffs and things like that. Okay, so we're going to take a little bit of damage here, but obviously nothing much because I have 75% damage reduction, and otherwise we're just going to finish this guy off. There we go. Easy enough. And we did level up. We didn't get any loot or anything like that, but we did gain 12 wealth from just winning the battle, of course, and return damage from the next hit to the enemy performing it. That sounds like a really, really cool ability, but you are going to be taking that damage as well. It doesn't prevent it. Finishing Blow is really, really cool. If an enemy was killed by this card, increase its damage by 50% for the remainder of combat. I personally feel like that's super fun. Whoa, wait a minute. Rapid Attack. Yeah, Rapid Attack is definitely what I'm going to be going for here. I'm going to be going for a multi-hit style with the Brawler, if I can help it. You can either go for super heavy damage with one card, or you can go for many, many small hits with a lot of different cards. So it's kind of, you can go for either those, or you can go for something completely different. I mean, there's a number of different options you can go for. Anyway, whenever you play 2 or less cards in a turn, draw 2 additional cards at the start of your next turn. That's actually pretty cool. On each combat 1, heal 10 HP. I think I'm going to be taking that. And we can now speak to the Confident Priestess. There are old customs that protect the traveling priests of the Aloe Mother. The one you see before you, walking through the weirdness at a brisk, confident pace, doesn't seem to realize or care that this protection is not likely to extend here. So we can ask to be healed, which is a risk of a combat encounter. I guess we'll do that. Praise the Mother. I'm sorry, I'm in the middle of something. She doesn't seem to be that busy, and it's not common for the All-Mother's followers to leave someone asking for help. Inquire further. Reluctantly, she reveals she went into the weirdness of her own free will. Ever since we landed on Avalon, I've seen so much evil. Men killing each other for a slice of bread. Parents drowning their children so that their cries don't draw a weird spawn. It's so hard to believe the Mother still watches over us. She sighs and shakes her head. I want to settle this once and for all. If All-Mother is still with us, she will protect me. If not, I'd rather die anyway. Now let me be on my way, and you go on yours, with my blessing. And there you go. We have now been given a crazy, crazy card. However, this will be removed after you play it. So if you... I mean, literally, look at that. Heal back to full HP. Absolutely crazy. Crazy, crazy card, but useful. Very, very useful. And that's exactly the reason why you want to be speaking to all kinds of NPCs in the area as well. Okay, so there's the milestone. Let's carve our name into it, light a weird candle to extend its radius, and then we can also attack a bunch of other people here. So there is a trivial guy, there's a bunch of wealth, there's a lot of wealth here. And there's another milestone down here. We have another one of these. Though I write this with sadness, the use of poisons applied to blades and arrows has become more and more prevalent in recent years. While it would be easy to blame the crisis of honor and chivalry for this sad state of affairs, the truth is simpler. It's hard to make people of the land abandon any trick that gives them an edge over greedy bands of brigands or aggressive beasts. Yeah, so we do have those little lore bits that give you some backstory. Okay, so let's just pick up this. Pick up this, and hello there. That's a trivial fight. Do I want to do another trivial fight? Oh, there's a weak fight. We might be able to do a weak fight. Oh no, now I'm worried. Now I'm worried. But even if I do die, it's not a big deal because, as I say, I'd like to show you the other rune as well, which is all to do with lifesteal and high risk, high reward gameplay. So that's pretty fun. Okay, so I'm just going to do some blocks here. And we'll do a little bit of damage as well. Yeah, we're taking quite a lot of damage on this one. Okay, rapid attack, random attacks. Okay, so there you go. Okay, so now this guy's also gained vulnerable, which is really, really fantastic. This is exactly the reason why you want to have as many multi-hit attacks, in my opinion, as you can, because that basically means that this guy's now going to take 100% additional damage, which is just incredible, in my opinion. Being able to do that much damage to him is really, really nice. Anyway, let's see if I can maybe do some more. Don't attack that one, you silly. Yeah, there we go. Kill that one. There we are. Okay, that's perfectly fine. Alright, so I'm just going to block because this one only attacks once, basically, which is really not a big deal. And we have 4 marks on it. So what we can do is we can go for an attack. It's going to attack 4 times next turn. So let's go for 1 attack, and then we will use this. Boom, there you go. So it did 26 damage, and we also now provided it with vulnerability, which is really, really nice. So let's go there, and we will be taking a little bit of damage, but not too much. And now we can do a huge amount of multi-hits, which is exactly what we want. That additional damage is just so incredibly useful. And there you go, we leveled up. We gained a shard of Morgana's mirror, disables all healing on the target, if you want to use that, and a crafting component. So you can show that to a competent blacksmith, because I believe that there is a crafting system of some kind, but I have not gotten that far to be able to utilize it, potentially. But anyway, Piercing Strike reduces the enemy's armor by 30, duration 2 turns. Might be pretty useful. 50% block chance per hit received. Yeah, I think we're going to go for Piercing Strike. Sounds fun to me. Alright. So, I think what I'm going to do is we will run here. Hello there. Okay, so now we are in the weirdness. I think I will probably end up dying as a result of being in here. Am I? I'm actually not sure about that. I think it might just give me more challenging fights, I suppose you could say. So, you know what? Let's try and get a challenging fight in the weirdness, just to see what it's all about. And if I do end up dying, which is probable at this point, then I can show you the next class. Alright, so technically I could use this if I wanted to, but I won't do that because, as I say, it would probably be a good idea to show you what's going on with other things. And I'm going to block. And I'm going to probably attack the rat. There we go. Okay, that's perfect. Because now, that abomination will kill the rat. Because as you can see, that's exactly the reason why I got the rat down to past, 25 or so HP. Because this guy always does 25 HP in terms of damage. Okay, so now what I can do... Okay, that's a little bit unfortunate. I was actually hoping that we would be able to do something a little bit different here. I actually wanted to... yeah, I actually wanted to try and get... Yes, as you can see, this is what happens. These cultist guys, they actually turn into these flesh-eating grubs. And, well, it's bad, isn't it? Yes, it's pretty bad, to say the least. So much damage being dealt right there. Okay, so technically what I can do now is I can just block. And then the abomination is going to kill everyone, including myself. But... the point is that if I had a little bit more block, then I would have been able to stay alive. And I did have those 4 healing potions as well. So they do give you a lot of ways to stay alive. But as I say, I was literally just allowing myself to die just so that we could go on to the next class. But I just got to say, I feel like every single one of these classes is extremely different from the other. And that really makes the replayability very, very cool, in my opinion. Okay, so there we go. We've interacted with this, and now we can actually move on to the next area. Alright, so Let's see. I think we'll just fight some weak people this time around. So let's carve our name in that, and then we'll just extend it a little bit. Okay, so let's have a look. I'm gonna try and find someone that's actually kind of hard, because we do have that Soul Reborn buff, and I thought that might make sense. Let's go over here and fight this, I guess, because there is one weak enemy in this one. And I'm going to read you the charge and what it does as well. So as you can see, gain lifesteal ability until the end of the turn. The effect's magnitude depends on the charges consumed. So let's say you have the maximum amount of charges, then you gain 100% lifesteal. So every single damage point that you deal gives you that HP in return. And the passive skill is when below 50% max HP, you deal 50% additional damage. So you can imagine how incredibly powerful it would be to be down at like 10 HP and then use this at maximum charge, and then all of a sudden, boom, you have just dealt so much damage, and you have, you know, gotten yourself back up to like 80 or something like that. So it's very, very powerful, but it does have its downsides. As I've said, there are many, many disadvantages to all the different classes, but they also have a lot of strengths, and you just have to play to those strengths as much as you possibly can. Alright, so the rat is probably going to be dealing quite a bit of damage to me. So I'm thinking this guy's going to attack first. So I'm going to just do small strikes. Oh wow, he's dead. Alright, that was actually much faster than I anticipated. Okay, okay, sure, I'll just continue attacking then, I guess. Now, bear in mind that the charge only happens when you get hit. So anytime you get a hit, that is when the charge will increase. As you can see, we now have 1 out of 2. But I'm just going to continue attacking here, and hopefully I'll be able to kill this guy, because he's going to split himself into numerous enemies, and we don't really want that to happen, even though the abomination is going to be dealing a little bit of damage to me, because I have 75% reduced damage reduction, obviously, so nothing really to worry about. And there you go. Easy enough, because of the Soul Reborn buff, you know? They want you to have the first encounter being relatively easy, and obviously making sure that you get a good start if you have died in the previous run. All right, so aha, this is now this is pretty cool. Yes, this is pretty cool. Okay, so we could duplicate the next card played. Actually, chain attack sounds really fun. I think we're going to go for chain attack, because duplicating the next card, basically what that means is when you use chain attack and then you use the next card after that, it plays it twice, as far as I am aware. That's what has happened to me in the past, which is really quite fantastic. Okay, so what else do we want to go for here? Whirlwind seems pretty cool. Targets all enemies. Might be okay. Taunt is pretty good, because that can actually force enemies to attack you. And you gain armor as well. So I'm actually going to take Taunt. And then here we go. So now I personally feel like the Berserk Runes passive skills are some of the most fun. But obviously I haven't seen all of them by any means. So let's have a look. Whenever you lose health, draw 1 card. That's crazy. On each hit received, lower enemies' armor by 3. That's also pretty crazy. When below 25% HP, plus 50% damage. That's pretty crazy too. Alright, so I'm actually not sure. I'm thinking we're going to do Demoralize. That seems like a fun idea. Alright, so let's just go and pick up the wealth here. As I said, wealth is very important. And we're going to be heading on over here and trying to avoid this guy. There we go. Oh, I'm actually in a battle. Who am I in a battle with? Am I in a battle with the guy that's really, really difficult? Oh, I've never come across this before. Okay, I've never come across this before. This might be this might be bad. Okay, let's see. Let's just do small strikes. Let's just try and eliminate it as fast as we possibly can. It's gonna do something. Okay, yeah, I think I'm probably gonna have some difficulties here. Okay, let's do small strikes. Yeah, I did not want that. Okay. Lovely. Oh yes, that's wonderful, isn't it? Okay, so I'm gonna use Taunt then, I guess. And I died instantly. Yes. Note to self. When fighting rats, especially rats that have a very, very high attack stat, do not use Taunt. That is literally the lesson that I have learned there. Absolutely. Okay, yeah, it's probably not the best idea. Oh, Yeah, but anyway, I have, as I say, I've never encountered that particular enemy before, and I knew something really, really bad was going to happen, but I went for it anyway. I thought my armor might have prevented anything from going wrong there, but no, it was a little bit too much damage for poor old berserker guy. Oh well, never mind. That's going to be it for this episode. If you'd like to see more, then by all means let me know. But what I would highly recommend doing is going to the Steam store page and adding it to your Steam wishlist. It comes out on June 25th. And so, I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.